The International Championships, one of the coolest things, and it looks like we're about to get underway. Caleb Rogerson from the U.S. on the left, Roberto from France on the right, and a Galarian Zigzagoon mirror to start off the senior finals.
You'll love to see it. We're going to get the Zigzagoons into play, and he's happy to be here at least.
Oh, but this hand from Roberto is not good. You do not want to put an energy on Zigzagoon. Just a pass over to Caleb. That is, yeah, that's not ideal. And Caleb could win the game this turn. Caleb plays the Hoopa with Assault Gate. Does Caleb have the pieces in hand already?
I think he does. I believe I saw the energy card there. I think Caleb understands potentially. Actually, I don't know if there is a way to pivot this Zigzagoon out of the active, so it looks like in this hand.
Yeah, no scoop up net in hand, so Roberto can breathe a sigh of relief. Caleb's going to take things a little slower, playing Sonya to just get 2 Sobbles in play. Still a much better turn 1 than what Roberto had.
Absolutely, getting set up is important. It looks like I saw Cynthia's Ambition in the hand to potentially draw some more cards the following turn. But Caleb is completely happy to just take some time. You know you're not going to have to worry about a lockout most likely the following turn. So this is where things can get a little tricky. It looks like there is also a level ball as well. He's going to go ahead and opt to play that this turn. Wants to try to get as many Drizziles out the following turn. And then we will see Sobble get eyed up to the top of the deck. Is going to eye that up, play that onto the bench. And there could be a triple Drizzile the following turn. And this is exactly what you need, especially when your opponent has a pretty weak start, as well as benching that Rapid Strike Urshifu, Gale Thrust online potentially for the following turn.
Yeah, let's see if Caleb has an energy or not, because that is a great piece to get on Urshifu right away, so you can threaten a turn 2 G-Max Rapid Flow. You obviously can make some plays out of nowhere with Raihan, theoretically, but you need an energy in the discard to make that happen. No energy from Caleb, and just a pass over to Roberto. Is there any help here in this hand? I think does have Marnie and Research his options.
Yeah, Marnie going to go ahead and start things off, but you only get 5 cards to work with. You need to get some Pokemon into play, so this is going to be a pretty big Marnie to look at. Again, looking back at the prize cards, one of those Arceus in the prizes also does not have access to that Capture Energy. I believe is only playing the 1 copy of the Capture Energy, so will not have access to that for this game. Looks like Caleb going to go ahead and get the 4 cards there off the Marnie, and oh boy.
What does Roberto have?
Oh, does find a quick ball. Nice.
No energy, though, once again. So we're going to be just even another turn behind on getting off an attack. Has the Quick Ball King maybe go get a Sobble and hope to top deck an out to Drizzile? But what do you discard? Training Court, Boss are both really good, and you can't get rid of Dunsparce. There's no way, right?
Yeah, surely not. At worst, can potentially get it by retreating and utilizing Training Court, but it looks like opting to just go ahead and get rid of the Training Court. Understands maybe I get some sort of a line the following turn. Is not playing anything like a Melanie to get things powered up right away. Is just kind of relying off. Yeah, I'm going to get my attachment.
Basic water energy.
Yeah, is actually also running 2 Capture Energy as well. So my mistake on that. Has ways to get more Pokemon into play. But you kind of have to just take the route of, I'm going to take 2 turns to power my Arceus up. And from there, everything should be able to get energy on it. But when you don't start Arceus and you don't start energy, neither of those things are going to happen.
Yeah, this is not a great start for Roberto, but I think this is a really good decision. Get the Sobble down, increase your top deck outs. Now, if you draw into a Drizzile or a Level Ball, you can get out of this hand with a Shady Dealings to go get yourself a supporter, and or even get yourself like an Evolution Instance to get Arceus V-Star and Starbirth for more pieces.
Absolutely, going to go ahead and grab that, place that on the bench. And we are going to see, yeah, but on top of that, there's not much to even go off this hand the following turn, as Caleb is in the driver's seat.
Has a new hand to work with after that Marnie. What is available? Evolution Instance can get a Drizzile, and that can open up plenty of different plays.
Absolutely. Looks like going to go ahead and throw that Evolution Incense down. Eyeing up the Drizzile, a lot of options when it comes to supporters. I think I saw some unplayable stuff there like Clara in the hand. You want to use that later on in the game when you have access to things like the Galarian Moltres in the discard pile, as we will see the Drizzile come down into play. Going to go ahead and utilize that Shady Dealings ability, and actually eyeing up the Professor's Research to get a little bit more aggressive with this hand. We'll have to discard a few pieces like the Clara. I saw the Quick Shooting Inteleon in that hand as well. But at this point, when you're off to such a faster start than your opponent, it just makes sense to get aggressive and try to take these prize cards.
Yeah, Caleb does have 2 Clara, so losing 1, not too big of a deal. Does not play the Pal Pad, so it seems like instead of having access to Pal Pad, just decided I'll play 2 copies of some of these really good supporters like the Clara, the Raihan, and the Bird Keeper.
Looks like also having that Rapid Strike
Okay.
Urshifu in hand,
And a
as well
Hoopa.
as the Hoopa. So this is going to be a big 7 cards, has access to a lot of Drizzile, Shady Dealings abilities, has not attached yet for turn either, so has a lot of options. We'll see what the hands is. There is an Energy and an Evolution Incense, as well as a Level Ball.
Okay, nice. Can get Scoop Up Net off of a Drizzile Shady Dealings, and Hoopa's Assault Gate can take the first KO. Really solid spot here for Caleb.
Absolutely. He's going to go ahead and grab that up. I'm sure we'll be seeing this go ahead and grab a Scoop Up Net to get this out of the active. Could maybe utilize that 10 damage somewhere later on, but I feel like Zigzagoon in this matchup specifically, not as important.
Yeah, not too big of a deal in this matchup. It can be really good in, a bunch of other ones. Anytime there's something on your opponent's bench with like 130 hit points that you want to G-Max Rapid Flow, it can also set up, plays for you to 2-hit KO, a big charmed Arceus V-Star with a Dunsparce in play, theoretically. Lots of different math that could come up, but maybe not the most relevant here.
Absolutely. Looks like we're going to see the energy played down to the Hoopa. Assault Gate will now be able to deal damage to this active since it was promoted from the bench to the active this turn.
Very good.
And it looks like also deciding to save the bench slot. We will see the first prize card ticket here of the senior finals.
And it's a level ball, which is a very good card to take off the prizes.
Yeah, still has 1 Drizzile prized, so we'll only have access
Oh, it does only
to,
play 3. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not unable to draw that, but can still reutilize that if he maybe finds an Inteleon in this.
And Roberto just got nothing there.
Yeah.
Is that, Boss, Scoop Up Net, and Dunsparce. This is, we're looking at boss stall territory, which is never where you want to be.
He absolutely goes ahead and promotes that Rapid Strike Urshifu in the active. It's going to be a little bit harder to
Big
get
opening
that out.
for Caleb.
Yeah, but this Evolution Incense will be able to grab a few pieces, most likely something like that Bird Keeper out of the deck to give that pivoting option. We'll see playing very fast.
Oh,
and
he's
actually
just grabbing the Rowlet right away.
Wow, looks like eyeing up the Inteleon. Needs to also find a way to get a Quick Ball or some sort of a option back in the hand to grab the Rowlet, and actually has the level ball already.
Nice.
We could be seeing the Bird Keeper allowing this Rowlet to attack for free, is able to deal 60 damage to a Pokemon on the bench.
Yeah.
And that Sobble or Dunsparce having 60 HP is a great target to select.
Yes.
There we go. Grabs it off
Rowlet.
the level ball.
Very cool. Love to see it getting used. It's really in here for this matchup, for this reason to be able to KO Dunsparce, though I actually don't think Caleb is even going to go after the Dunsparce here. You know your opponent is having a rough draw, has a really bad hand. I think you target down that Sobble right away so that you limit your opponent's top deck options completely. Bird Keeper will switch into the Rowlet, draw 3 cards, and thanks to the Sky Circus ability, Wind Shard can be used for free.
Absolutely. It looks like also has the Scoop Up Net there to reutilize that Inteleon Sword and Shield line for the following turn. Can even Shady Dealings again this turn. And this is big Sky Circus online, which means Wind Shard is attacking for free. Does not need any energy to fill that attack requirement. And being able to deal 60 damage to any bench Pokemon.
And an energy on the Urshifu, threatening the Rapid Flow. Caleb is going to choose to take out the Dunsparce, knows how important that is in this matchup, so just gets rid of it right away. And Roberto top decking a Arceus V all but locks this game up, and Roberto agrees, concedes. Now Caleb Rogerson is up 1-0 here in the Senior Division Finals. There's already, I know, they're getting underway. Roberto kicking it off with an Ultra Ball, gets rid of a Marnie and a Raihan. Starting to Galarian Moltres, not the best, but getting a turn 1 Arceus in play is pretty good.
So excited for the second match here in the Seniors Finals. Caleb needing one more game to become the champion. Will he be able to clutch it out? Or will Roberto have to try and force a Game 3 to put things back in his favor and take home the championship? Things are going to start out pretty nicely, though. Now does at least this game get down that turn 1 Arceus V. Discarding a few key supporter cards there, though, in that Raihan, so I have to assume there's got to be some other pretty solid cards. Maybe like that turn 1 energy attachment, as we do see 2 energy there, as well as the Arceus V-Star for the following turn. This is looking pretty solid.
Not bad at all, and we'll pass it to Caleb, who did start the Sobble, so a turn 1 keep calling is definitely an option, and does have the energy ready if that is a play that he wants to go for. Just going to discard the Moltres right away, puts it into the discard pile, so now it can be accessed from Clara later on in the game.
Yeah, interestingly enough, running that capture energy, it seems, to be able to find out some of those basic Pokemon as well. Playing that one of capture energy. I like that in this deck, to be able to search out some of those Pokemon, like the Rapid Strike Urshifu, that have more than 90 HP, cannot be searched out as a basic, as well as the Tapu Koko, which we see as well as a great pivoting option to easily move Pokemon in and out, especially as a great Pokemon to promote for the start of the turn. I know in formats that had cards like Floatstone, it was pretty simple when you started your turn off. You brought up your Pokemon with the Floatstone, and from there you could go into any Pokemon you choose to attack. And we're actually going to see the capture energy come down onto the Tapu Koko. I believe is able to go ahead and draw some cards with that first
Are we going to see Allure on stream drawing 2 cards? It's a possibility, but that would mean Caleb had to burn a Scoop Up Net on the active Sobble, which is really not what you want to do. You want to be using Scoop Up Nets on your Drizziles later on so that you can chain together multiple Shady Dealings in a turn.
See what the line of play is here. And we are actually going to see the Scoop Up.
The hand must be pretty weak from Caleb then. I think that's the only way he'd make this play. Gonna draw 2 extra cards, so it's a nice little bailout option, and it works out pretty decently. Now on to Roberto. Can he find the pieces to pull off the turn 2 Trinity Nova, and just has it in hand already?
Already has that Scoop Up Net, the Darkness Energy, and the Arceus V-Star.
Uses Starbirth.
Yep, Starbirth V-Star power going to go ahead and be activated. Any 2 cards out of the deck going to be searched out. I have to imagine you're looking for a draw supporter as well as maybe another Arceus to get down and power up, but the options are limitless, right? You can search out any 2 cards out of your deck.
Well, limited to, like, I guess 50-something cards, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't just start pulling something out of the binder or anything like that, but has a bunch of different choices. Research grabbed right away. Definitely a solid choice when you have a low hand and not really much happening in it.
Yeah, and I like grabbing Arceus here as well because you know that 2 are prized, so it's going to be fairly hard for you to just draw into it. Can use, obviously, a search option like Ultra Ball or Quick Ball, but
just guaranteeing it before the research seems pretty good to me, and Roberto agrees with both of us because that seems like the other card grabbed off Starbirth.
Absolutely. We will see the Arceus and Professor's Research grabbed. Can even go ahead and play that Training Court to get more energy to play, but there is the concern that you do give Caleb access to that card for the rest of the game. I'm sure Caleb does not want to remove that, as we will see the Research go ahead and draw 7 new cards.
Would love to find some Sobbles here. Speaking of which, there's a couple. Not too bad. Can set those up for Shady Dealings in the future. Has another Quick Ball to work with. I don't think any great supporters for the next turn. Yeah, Boss and Clara. Boss is obviously solid. You can respond to whatever Caleb potentially benches next turn. But Trinity Nova is a good turn 2. Takes the first prize here in game number 2, leaving Caleb with just 2 Sobbles.
Yeah, drew 2 supporter cards off of that draw from the Tapu Koko, a Sonia and a Professor's Research.
Okay.
So we'll now have a couple of options to work with. But on Roberto's side, taking a knockout, accelerating 3 energy out of the deck. Very strong stuff. And we'll see exactly what prize card is taken because grabbing another Arceus here would be very solid to get that powered up.
Yeah, not too bad. Another energy potentially, I think, did only grab 2 out of the deck, so that could be a decent thing to take as your prize as well. And does grab the Arceus. Okay, not bad.
Not bad at all. Option's going to go ahead and start off here. It looks like eyeing up just playing that
Something
Research.
to note, there is no Dunsparce in play. Okay, doesn't look like Caleb's going to have access to it, but a play that could have happened here is Caleb could have used Raihan onto a Rapid Strike Urshifu and gone for the 100 Furious Blows to just take a 1-hit knockout on the Fighting Weak Arceus. Caleb's hand wasn't quite good enough to pull it off and is just going to play it a little slower with the Research and attaching an energy to the active Sobble, maybe seeing a Keep Calling this turn.
Absolutely. Very solid hand here as well. Has access to utilize a Shady Dealings, potentially on that bench Sobble, because you really want to utilize Keep Calling this turn by committing that energy to the active. It pretty much signals that we will see that attack as the Evolution Incense will go ahead and eye up the Drizzile. You got a lot of options to work with when it comes to trainer cards in the deck. Potentially for next turn to set up a Gale Thrust onto an Arceus could be a very solid option. However, with 2 Bird Keeper being prized, you're not going to have access to that card for pretty much the entirety of the game.
Yeah, that's really bad, especially because they're the top 2 prize cards. So if Caleb wants to deal with the Dunsparce once it comes into play, it's going to have to be via a boss's orders.
Yep, can also use Gmax Rapid Flow to take care of it as well. So there are a few options in order to really deal with that when it comes to settling and removing the Dunsparce. And when it comes to recovery options, Roberto does have access to Clara, so that is a way to get it back. So kind of becomes complicated. Roberto will have to burn a supporter card for the turn to get that Pokemon back. But Dunsparce is so important in this matchup, it kind of feels worth almost every time.
So Shady Dealings grabs a level ball, likely just prepping for that to grab another Drizzile on the next turn, and Keep Calling will be the choice, getting another Urshifu in play, it looks like, as well as 2 more Sobbles. Not too bad, if you ask me.
Yeah, this could be on Roberto. Needs a top deck to find maybe some access to a trainer the following turn. Does have a very solid line to maybe boss's orders up one of these Urshifu to start applying some pressure. This is really where it's going to come down to draws are really not treating Roberto very well in this set so far. So a nice top deck, maybe something like a level ball, something else. We'll see what the top deck card is.
Quick Ball.
Ooh, another Quick Ball, but not any Crobat or any way to draw cards off of a basic Pokemon.
And has already used Starbirth, so Roberto might just be at the mercy of attacking. Can use Quick Ball to go get the Dunsparce in play, and also could boss's orders and target down one of these Urshifu, just hitting it before it comes into the active spot, but what Caleb could do to get around that is just, retreat or switch it out and never bring that specific Urshifu back into the active. And that would force Roberto to play another boss's orders if he wanted to deal with it.
Yeah, only a 2-1 line as well, so if you're Caleb, maybe you're just okay allowing this to take a hit and just playing all the other Urshifu that is clean.
Yeah.
You also have a line to just go ahead and actually is not... A very interesting thing about Caleb's list that I was talking about him before is he's not playing any copies of Cheryl, which we've seen in a lot of these Rapid Strike Urshifu lists, being a great addition to maybe use something like a G-Max Rapid Flow. You have no energy on your Pokemon. Go ahead and play Cheryl, heal all that damage off, and now you're just back to normal with a fresh attacker. As we do see the bench get filled up, it looks like we'll go ahead and discard the Arceus off of the Quick Ball to go ahead and grab the Dunsparce out of the deck to have some protection with that mysterious Nest ability, preventing all of your colorless Pokemon from taking weakness taking weakness. It just does not take damage. Or rather, does not take weakness damage.
It doesn't take the times 2.
That would be very, very powerful if it just did not take damage.
A basic Pokemon you could bench that says your colorless Pokemon don't take damage? That would, that'd be pretty good. Roberto will go in with the boss's orders, brings up one of these Urshifu, and will hit for 180 damage. Gets to accelerate anything else out of the deck. I actually don't think there's any energies in the deck, though.
No, has a few prizes as well, so
That's
unfortunate to not be able to accelerate those. But there are a lot of cards to work with in this hand. When it comes to pivoting options for Caleb's list, obviously the Bird Keeper is the main option that is available. Besides that, I don't believe is running any copies of something like an Air Balloon in the deck, which we've seen some more of these Mew list runs. So this will be pretty interesting to see what the stadium is. I believe actually does have Tower of Waters.
Yeah, I think one copy. Actually does not play
stadiums. Wow.
Okay, yeah, no stadiums here in this list.
Yeah, so this is an interesting position where you maybe say, do I let this Urshifu...
Wow, and so the fact that this Urshifu is in the active spot now and both Bird Keepers are prized, that's actually all of Caleb's switching cards. So the only way Caleb has to get it to the bench would be to attack with Strafe. Just hit for 30 damage and switch it to the bench. So, I mean, there's a chance that Caleb just is forced to let this Urshifu be KO'd and set something else up.
Yeah, you can maybe feel a little bit more confident about it being safe the following turn. Your opponent did not play any Drizzile down to start evolving and getting those Shady Dealings Inteleons into play later on in the game. So you maybe could feel a little bit more comfortable and confident. We are actually going to see the Clara grabbed off of the first Shady Dealings.
Okay.
Has access to an energy search. It's a base set energy search that I see in the hand. The Hand Claw. Going to go ahead and search out any energy card, and it looks like it will actually be the Fighting Energy to fulfill that requirement. Doesn't really want to commit a Rapid Strike Energy, especially if there's a chance that this Rapid Strike Urshifu V will be knocked out from another boss's orders target onto it.
Yeah, and I think Caleb is fine with this play. Get a little bit of damage on this Arceus, and now you're forcing Roberto to play another boss's orders if he wants to get a 2-prize KO. Let's see if Caleb does go with the Strafe or not this turn.
Yeah, looks like eyeing up a Inteleon, that Chilling Rain Inteleon with the quick shooting.
And this is a way you can deal with the Dunsparce as well. Start to put some damage on it, and then now you force Roberto to use Scoop Up Net potentially in order to heal that Pokemon. And if Roberto's using Scoop Up Net on Dunsparce, that means it's one less Scoop Up Net for the Drizziles in order to reuse Shady Dealings.
Yeah, 20 damage on Dunsparce is especially scary because of that Yoga Loop potential.
That's true as
Take an
well.
extra turn. But the scarier thing about that is even if Dunsparce has no damage on it, it is still possible to Yoga Loop a Dunsparce out of nowhere if you can utilize quick shooting, scoop up net it, and then use this again. But this is a good strafe. It's going to go ahead and deal 30 damage, no weakness because of that mysterious nest. And going to go ahead and promote the Sobble with no energy attached to it. And again, a very lackluster hand here.
Let's see
What will Roberto draw?
Sharon's Care. I mean, I guess You could use it to pick up the Dunsparce, right?
I mean, yes, you can use it to pick up the Dunsparce, but I feel like because the Dunsparce is at least still around right now.
I mean, listen, if I just watched Caleb put Yoga Loop into hand and Caleb has the Inteleon in play already, Caleb's got the pieces to just Yoga Loop this Dunsparce next turn.
Yeah, you have the pros and cons there, so you do avoid that technically. But on the cons, if this Arceus is going to take damage next turn from a Gale Thrust, it would feel very solid to be able to pick that up and then go ahead and evolve to the other one. So this is going to be a decision that Roberto has to make when going into this. I think it's eyeing up. Do I thin the deck out a little bit more? It does have Quick Ball, so I would like to see that to maybe get some more non-supporters. So you get those Pokemon out of your deck. It's not something you're going to draw into. As we are actually going to see...
Oh, yeah, it can pick up the active. It did get hit for 30 by the Strafe. Going to just reset that little bit of damage. And can go in with the new Arceus now.
Yeah, the downside of that is you're not going to be accelerating any energy this turn. And the scarier thing about this play as well is if we do see the Yoga Loop, it will leave no energy in play for Roberto.
Yeah, this is a big opening for Caleb.
Yeah, this is really where it's going to come down, especially if this opens up that bench slot. Regardless, though, a bench slot can always be opened up because of Scoop Up Net.
Yeah, but it forces Caleb now to play one less. So Caleb can just like send up this Drizzile, evolve it into an Inteleon, use Shady Dealings, get 2 trainer cards, throw the Yoga Looper down, and yeah, this is a big turn for Caleb, and this is the play he wants to set up. Yoga Loop the Dunsparce into Gale Thrust the Arceus V-Star in the active.
Yeah, it has that potential pretty much lined up, already has the Medicham V in hand, already has the Rapid Strike energy.
I don't think the rest of this hand is the best from Caleb, though, so let's see what he has access to. Top Deck's Evolution Instance, that means you can get Shady Dealings Inteleon.
Wow, and opting to actually go ahead and promote the Rapid Strike Inteleon instead of the Sobble. I believe had a guaranteed pivoting option on that, but very solid choice it looks like is going to go ahead and eye up a few cards here. I don't know if I see the Evolution Incense somewhere here. It looks like...
Yeah, there's the Incense in hand.
Oh, it looks like actually going to go ahead and evolve into that Shady Dealings
has it right there,
out. So it's going to go ahead and utilize that first Shady Dealings. So already have that in hand to work with. So felt confident being able to pick up this Rapid Strike Inteleon to maybe utilize its ability later on in the game. As it looks like it will be the Scoop Up Net eyed up. We'll be able to grab any 2 trainer cards.
And what Caleb is doing here is just really planning ahead for future turns. I think the play for this turn is like decently obvious to him, but wants to think about... what is my future going to look like, and what pieces do I have access to? Oh, Caleb's actually going to just get the KO with the Zigzagoon, not even worried about Yoga Loop, and that is a prize during your turn. Not going to skip anything from Roberto, not going to skip a turn for Roberto, but a great way to take a prize during your turn, and that gives you one more card to work with. Gets the energy on the active, and can Scoop Up Net this active Inteleon, and 100 Furious Blows can actually just one-hit KO this Arceus V-Star.
And this is great because you do the same thing that you would do with Gale Thrust, but on a 2-prize Pokemon.
Yes.
You apply pressure with that 100 Furious Blows.
And then you leave the clean Urshifu on the bench that can still become a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX.
This is an excellent line of play for Caleb. Has thought this out perfectly and has a great game plan. Will be able to go down to 3 prize cards because of that weakness now being online due to Mysterious Nest being gone, due to that Dunsparce being knocked out from the Zigzagoon. So very smart play. Zigzagoon actually coming in clutch here in this matchup.
Yeah, Zigzagoon being a big deal. Really cool play there from Caleb, and can even grab Cynthia's Ambition. Can use that to fill the hand up to 8 cards.
Wow, it feels like he's already played a supporter card at this point. He's played so many cards.
I mean, he took a knockout.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Already took a knockout. Can still play a supporter card and potentially draw. It looks like going to draw 2 cards.
Just 2. So not kind of one of the weaker Cynthia's Ambitions you'll feel, but at this point, it's the best option for Caleb to fill the hand.
Hey, listen, 2 cards is still 2 cards. Right?
Not bad.
You get to draw some more. Looks like a Quick Ball potentially to grab some more Pokemon.
And I don't even think Roberto's going to be able to respond to this play.
No, opted to actually not even bench another Arceus. So there's no way to power this up in 1 turn. No Melody in this deck. And this is a big opening here for Caleb.
Can respond with the Moltres. Can respond with the Moltres. Let's not forget it.
Yeah, let's not forget the Moltres is still an option. Does already have 2 energy. And the Clara as well to bring back some more.
And that opens up plays for Caleb to Raihan and use G-Max Rapid Flow potentially.
Absolutely. Moltres does have 120 HP,
Okay.
so we'll be able to, or we'll be perfectly knocked out with math from that G-Max Rapid Flow. So this is going to be a big-time turn. Malevolent Charge, going to go ahead and throw 2 Dark Energy onto that Moltres. Still has that attachment for turn, but the problem with this hand is there's still no way now to pivot this Drizzile out of, or Sobble out of the active.
And Roberto's just going to attach and use Keep Calling, and now Caleb is in an excellent spot, can just use 100 Furious Blows again.
Yeah, even has the potential to utilize Boss's Orders this turn if that's still in the deck. So we will see the potential options. Going to start things off. Has access to potentially evolving that Drizzile into that that quick shooting Inteleon to get some more damage into play. There is the potential to set up a Yoga Loop play the following
Could Caleb set up? No, not quite this turn. I was wondering if there was a way for Caleb to set up a Yoga Loop play into the G-Max Rapid Flow, but I don't think it can quite work. Can't get enough damage on Sobbles in order to Yoga Loop them.
It does have access to that Evolution Incense, so we'll be able to search out either that Rapid Strike, Urshifu.
I wonder at this point, does Caleb feel comfortable enough to just VMAX this active Urshifu and use G-Max Rapid Flow now?
Yeah, it does have access to Clara, so it can still put together a Gale Thrust the following turn,
Yep,
but
true.
it looks like this is going to be the play. We're going to see this evolve. Going to go ahead and VMAX evolve into that Rapid Strike Urshifu. Has Quick Ball as well to thin the deck out a little bit. Already the Clara in hand as well, and we're going to be seeing a G-Max Rapid Flow take 2 prizes, and Caleb will be put at 1 prize away from becoming an international champion.
Got to make sure you play everything out properly here. Don't want to make any mistakes at this stage. Quick Ball can ditch a Darkness Energy. Just thinning the Manaphy out, that's not a card you're going to need to see. So we'll see it Quick Balled away once again, and can get the Galarian Moltres V out and put it into the hand.
Yeah, Galarian Moltres V, a card that we have seen in Gustavo's deck as well. A good option that can be powered up in 1 turn in combination with something like a Rhyhorn. Not too important in this matchup specifically, but just showing off a little bit, saying, hey, I do have this card in my deck. I did use this throughout the weekend. I'm sure we saw Aura Burn. I'm sure Caleb had used Aura Burn multiple times throughout this weekend, as we are going to see, it looks like a Dark Energy attached to the Inteleon.
That's even a way you could close out the game.
Yeah, Waterfall does deal 70 damage, so on either Sobble, it will be able to potentially pick up a KO.
And it can even knock out Drizzile with the combination of Quick Shooting.
We are going to see G-Max Rapid Flow discarding all energies attached to that Rapid Strike Urshifu V, but we'll go ahead and take that 2 prize knockout.
1 prize card remaining.
Yeah, 1 prize is left and has so many cards in hand. What's the top deck? It's a Galarian Zigzagoon.
Roberto just has absolutely nothing, and Caleb took the Bird Keeper off the prizes, meaning he has the switch card necessary to go into the Inteleon to just win the game. Roberto,
he has the Bird Keeper. He
there it
concedes.
is. Caleb Rogerson has become the European International Champion